Good morning. You're now listening to Kingston Community Radio, airing on FM 92.5 and AM 920 WGHQ in Kingston, New York. This programming is brought to you by our listeners and corporate underwriters who are interested in presenting local community radio. The opinions expressed on this program do not represent those of Pamel Broadcasting or Kingston Community Radio. Listeners are encouraged to send in $10 per month to help bring this program to you. Mail your contributions to Kingston Community Radio, Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402. For more information or to donate online, visit our website at mykcr.org. Good morning, and this is a Tuesday, April 5th. It's a terrific Tuesday, and thank you for tuning in, sharing the morning with us. My name is Dan Gatus. It's 34 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston, and we will be right back.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see? Every moment can be kind of special. But they could be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish, Dad!
Oh, come on! This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Eleanor Arrow from the town of Ulster, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
And you're listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio, WGHQ, 920 on your AM dial, 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. KCR is on 7 to 9 a.m. every weekday. Sunshine and clouds mixed today with a high around 60. And Tuesday night tonight, cloudy with occasional rain late. We have a 90% chance of rain later tonight with a low of 42 degrees. Wednesday's a high of 54 degrees with a steady rain early, then remaining cloudy with a few showers throughout the afternoon. That's a high of 54 and a 90% chance of rain. And cloudy in the evening, then off and on rain showers after midnight on Wednesday night with a low of 44 degrees. Periods of rain on Thursday also. It continues for, it's pretty much a 2-day rain. Periods of rain with a high of 51 on Thursday. And steady rain in the evening, showers continuing late with a low of 44 for Thursday night. And let's get to the on-air studio and say hi to Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance. Hi, folks. How are you?
We are terrific.
We're here.
It's Tuesday, and the sun's going to be out. It's going to warm up a little bit. It's going to be a lovely day.
Yes, and it's good to be back.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel bad. I missed that wonderful breakfast.
You should feel
and
bad.
Yes, and it's all JetBlue's fault. So what can I say? Yeah, you know.
You were not alone. You know, I just saw today thousands of flights were canceled over the weekend due to the weather. So.
Oh, I've never had that happen to me before. Yeah. So we had gone to visit my mother-in-law who wasn't feeling too well for a long weekend down in Florida. And, Monday, 4 o'clock, fly out, home in time, get a good night's rest before the big breakfast. And then we get to the airport. And our 4 o'clock flight was canceled till 9 o'clock. And then 9 o'clock became 11 o'clock. So long story short, we didn't pull into the driveway in Kingston here till 4 o'clock in the morning. So, it was a long day, long day. So I apologize. Back in the day, Cameron, I could have done that. I could have went right through.
But now that you're, you're an elected official, you need to be on the point. You need to.
Well, I think it's more my age. I
was trying to make an excuse for you. You have to be.
Do you remember those days where you could go all day and night?
Just wake up, not even wake up, just change clothes and go to work.
That's right. There you go.
But it was we were recapping off the air a little bit, but trying not to make Nina feel too bad about last Tuesday's radio broadcast. What a great show that was, and hopefully our listeners enjoyed it because I enjoyed it.
I know
our guests enjoyed it. Barbara Meltzer may have not liked getting interrupted a couple times by.
But that's the
Chief
fun part of
Tinty,
it, right?
Exactly, the live broadcast aspect of it. But
Yes,
it was
absolutely.
good. Amanda Metakekia and Mike Janashevitz were on. See,
That's a
I know
mouthful.
Mike Jankowski. I have to think because Mike Janashevitz were on with Kiwanis talking about the Kingston Classic on April 24th. So after a 2-year hiatus, it's going to be back in full swing.
Great.
Back the way it used to be, hundreds of runners we're hoping for.
fantastic.
The 10K, 5K, 1.5 mile fun run for, everyone, families or whatever, dogs,
Yeah.
and cats, whatever
It's
you want
nice,
to do.
it's nice to see things starting to come back.
Yep.
We
yep.
had the Boys and Girls Club auction last Thursday
Yeah,
night.
I heard that was wildly successful.
It was yes, a huge success and great turnout, over 200 people, and a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of
I
fun
was-
and a good cause. And the Youth of the Year spoke, and she was phenomenal. Just a great event all the way around. And then on Friday night was Dancing with the Stars. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make that event, but I heard that was.
Wow, that was.
Yes, I heard Stacy did a great job. She danced with Drew Andrews, and she was.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
she danced.
Wow.
And a shout out to Travis Rask and his fiance. They danced also. So I heard it was a success.
At
yeah,
Diamond Mills?
Diamond Mills.
Yes, that's great.
That's
I
a
didn't-
fun night. If you haven't had the opportunity to go next year, mark it on your calendar because it really is a fun night. It's always the first Friday in April.
Keep that in mind. For
Yeah,
next year.
yeah, absolutely. So it is nice, all the events getting back together, Kingston Classic, and seeing people. I know now they're starting the second booster at Best Buy on Saturday. The
I
county
saw
is
that.
doing
What's
that.
at least 4 months?
Since your last
And over
one?
50 or medically compromised, I believe
Right.
is the parameters.
Yeah, yeah.
But that'll loosen up
Yes.
over the next
yes,
couple months. They'll probably lower the
Yes.
criteria, I imagine. Right?
Yeah, I would think so,
that's
Joe.
what they
I would
did
think so.
all along with the vaccines themselves, and then the first round of boosters. As time went on, they loosened or opened it up more. I guess
Right.
loosening up is probably incorrect. Made it eligible to more people, or opened it up
Yes,
to more.
more people as time goes on. Yeah, so that will be this
I'll
Saturday.
get it. Why
Best
not?
Buy.
If I could stay healthy, knock
Right.
on wood, and I've been healthy. I only
Yeah.
got one COVID test my whole life, and that was in Italy.
And you were negative, and
Yeah,
that was a
thank
good
God.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're already
no.
talking about going back. So
There you go.
I know upcoming the Elks Lodge has our adult Easter egg hunt on this Saturday
Oh,
night.
tell me about that. That's
Well,
an
it's
interesting
an
concept.
adults
I've never
party.
done it.
It's
yes.
not kid. We had to say adult as in don't bring your kids, not as in X-rated adult. You know what I mean?
Well, I had complete confidence in
Okay.
you,
It
Cameron,
was
that
an
you would
adult.
never
It's
do
not for
anything that
children.
was not. Yes.
But we literally hide eggs in and around the grounds of the lodge and go on an Easter egg hunt.
do
And
you get a prize for
yeah,
the person?
all the eggs have some sort of prize in it, whether it's
Oh, each egg has a
little,
prize in
yeah,
it.
a
Oh.
number, and the numbers correspond with a chart. And after you get all your stuff, you open just like here. You open up your pile of goodies, see what you got, and you go to the chart. Sometimes it's a little, a little airport bottle of whiskey or a trinket, a doodad,
Yeah,
a coupon for the raffle.
Sure.
Ticket for our, the Herb Jones September cookout, or Elks related things and stuff like that.
So when is the Easter egg hunt?
That's this Saturday, 5:00. It's early-ish.
Yeah, which is
Because
good.
we're gonna have
We need
food.
daylight.
We're gonna
Do
have
you
food. Yeah,
hide
you
them
need
outside?
daylight. Yeah. Needs daylight, and we have food, so it's not like you're missing.
So
dinner.
members only?
No, members and guests.
You can
but
bring
it can be
guests,
fun, but
okay.
Everybody out there knows an elk.
If it's an adult Easter egg hunt, then maybe it should be in the dark and everybody
Yeah.
has a flashlight.
Like it, with
man.
flashlights, maybe.
Yeah, with
dim
flashlights.
flashlights. But yeah, our
that's
drive-through dinner went really well yesterday.
What did we have for
We
dinner?
had baked ziti, but it was actually penne, and sausage and salad and peanut butter cookies. It was
Ooh,
good. I thought
yeah.
it was really good.
That was a
Several
good-
other people said it was good too, but
So you guys have been busy at the Elks Club.
yeah. You know Ray Roddle?
Yeah, I know, right?
His 80th birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday,
Yeah, they had a
Ray.
little, but there's we're having a more formal party this weekend, Friday for him. But yeah, 80. God,
Oh
that
my
guy
gosh, God bless
he's
him.
like the Energizer Rabbit. Man.
Yes, he
keeps
is.
going and going.
Yeah, he I know Rag from the days of St. Joseph School and
Yeah,
bingo.
the bingo.
He ran the bingo for
God, how he
years.
must have raised $1 million for.
I know,
St.
that was a
Joseph's.
huge fun. Oh my gosh.
Over the years, the amount of money,
Yeah, and we used to, like, the parents would do all the cooking and all the food. So, I mean, everything was donated, and so the bingo was all profit. Yeah, we did raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
Really sustained the school.
Yeah. Elks just got after several years of it being lapsed, we got our gaming license back, so we can do like bell jar tickets and tear-offs and
Oh, that's
bingo,
great.
whatever. So, but there's a lot of oversight for bingo. I didn't realize how
There's
much.
tremendous amount of
Inspectors, like literally inspectors
Yes.
that will show up on a random Friday night or
Yep.
whatever, and
Yeah.
which seems silly, but when you think about it, like there's some places have like a lot of money involved, and
Oh,
tax money and kickbacks, and people can be skimming.
Yeah, no, there's
You
quite
think
a
of
bit to it.
the terrible crimes that people have committed over the year. You hear
Right.
stories, white collar crime. You hear stories about the treasurer of the fire department embezzling $80,000 and stuff like that.
It's easy with bingo.
Imagine
yes,
what
if
you can do
don't
with
over-
bingo.
Yeah.
And it's church. Everyone's honest in church. Well, sometimes not so much.
Yeah, but they're very strict. You have your bingo examiners, and there's a lot of rules, regulations,
Yeah,
a lot of
reporting,
filings that you
annual
have to do with the
reporting and
state.
stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm still
no.
learning all that.
Yeah, so you guys are going to try to do some.
No, someone can. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's
if someone
work.
in the lodge says, "Oh, we should do bingo," then okay, you're now in charge of that committee. I'll assist you, but I can't take it on myself.
People love bingo.
Yeah, it's a thought. It's out there.
Yeah.
If there's anybody listening knows me, send me a text if you want bingo at the lodge. Only if you come. You don't say, "Oh, it's a good idea," but
Yeah, right. You have
you
to
want
come.
participants,
Yes.
potential participants.
Right. Exactly.
Say that 5 times fast. Participants.
I'm not going to try that.
Particip-
Not at all. So we should have Heidi here
Yep.
at
hopefully.
7:30 from the Y. Looking forward to hearing what's happening there.
And I know Taylor Brook will be in because Nancy sent us a message that he was covering for her. pinch
Yeah,
hitting.
so Taylor Brook is our city historian and our county archivist and works for the county clerk's office. So we're always pleased to have Taylor on the
I'm
radio.
not sure who tonight is. It Dan? Well, I don't know. Who's our middle guest?
Dan is usually a
I
7:30.
don't know.
yes.
Not Carl. Is it Carl? No.
Yeah, I think it
I'm
might
trying
be
to think
Carl.
who passes Heidi on
I
the way
think it
in and
might
out.
be
sometime.
Carl Brown. I think so.
We'll find out.
So anyway, busy week with the. It seems like very busy in the county building this past week. Motor vehicles been busy. County clerk. I don't know whether spring is coming and people are out and about and starting to think about putting their motorcycles and convertibles on the road.
Oh, yeah.
things
You
like
say
that,
this is super
right?
busy time of year for all that.
Yeah, so
Motorcycles
it's just
and
starting.
boats.
Yeah, you get that first nice day and
Campers.
yeah.
On a sad note, I read
Bill
the paper this
Caldera.
morning. What's that?
Bill Caldera, Ulster Savings Bank.
Oh,
That's who we have
good.
at
Yeah,
8
that's
o'clock.
my new guest. All
Yes,
right.
because he's a new guest. That's what made us. Yes.
Pause. But I saw an obituary this morning for my friend Miranda and Murray Loberer's mom passed away.
Yes.
Carol. I know Miranda and Murray well, but I've only had the opportunity to meet their mom a few times. A lovely woman, but my condolences to them and keep
Their
them
family.
and their kids and
Family.
family in your prayers today. So they're
Yeah.
great folks, good friends of mine. So.
Yeah, we will do that. Absolutely. So I'll tell you, I don't know, Cameron, what do you think? I hear rain all week.
Later in the week.
Yeah.
But April showers bring May flowers.
I hope
You
so.
don't have to shovel rain.
No,
Right?
you don't have to shovel rain. This is true. This is very true. So we'll see.
Yeah, enjoy the sunshine today because even this evening it's 90% chance of rain. And then
90, well,
it carries through at least through Thursday night. It didn't look further yet. But that's,
well, it's all right.
yeah,
What are you
yes,
going
it
to
is.
do, right? Like you said,
Can't
those
fight the weather.
showers.
I should have checked the paper today because remember, it'd be interesting to see where we're at with our
the rainfall.
precipitation. Yeah, because we're just ended the first quarter of the year, or we just March ended the first quarter. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll be
Yes.
interested. Next week I'll bring in the paper. We'll check.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Our
That
weather
sounds
almanac, weather guide.
Yeah, so we can keep everybody updated. And of course, this is a call-in show, right, Cameron?
Yep. The 331-9255.
So please
Yesterday, I was listening to my normal rock and roll radio station at work, and they had some news break. Actually, I heard it a couple times during the day. HudsonValleyNews.com, whatever that. Kingston is today starting a big, huge gas line replacement project. 1,400 feet of gas line.
Oh, I didn't know that. Where
somewhere.
are they doing
I don't
that?
know. That's why I was
You're
asking
going to ask
you,
me
yeah.
that, and I don't
Now,
know.
I'm
the answer.
hoping over the last week, a whole lot of pavement markings have appeared on Fair Street. Blue,
Oh.
white, yellow,
So
orange.
That could be where?
Maybe there's essential, CHG&E markings. There's also blue water things. Hopefully not, because that messes up my road. But then
This
again,
is true.
if it
But you'll have
messes
all
up-
new gas
have
lines.
new gas lines, and but they've done. I don't know.
Has Central, I know, like maybe last year, time goes by, where Central Hudson did our whole neighborhood and put in
Yeah,
gas
now
lines.
they've done. Mullen has done
Yeah.
spot houses on my street, like they
Okay.
did across the street from me a week ago, down the street a couple weeks ago. They were on St. James Street yesterday. They've been all around, but it just seems like they're doing just houses.
Oh,
But I don't know
yeah.
why the whole street's marked up. Maybe they have to do it by chance. But
So if anybody knows, maybe they can
maybe
call
that
in
maybe
and let
that
us
is.
know.
I hate to ask or bring up something bad, but has Dwayne had any word from his family that's in Ukraine? How are they? Are they healthy?
So they're still safe. They are surviving, but it's just become harder and harder to get supplies, to get food, even what's the word I'm looking for here? Cameron, the organizations that are bringing the
Relief
supply, the
organizations,
relief,
yeah,
thank you, into the country. It's difficult to get it into those areas where people are, and horrific. I had to say the scenes from yesterday, just like really, really impacted me tremendously. See those poor people just brutally murdered. Brutally murdered.
Yeah, and then
there's no other word for it.
You
And
hear reports that Russians saying it's a stage prop.
Oh, yes.
It's like a Hollywood movie. It's like,
oh, come on. So
and that's just
I don't know.
the barbarity is just
Beyond
it shows
comprehension.
the
in
frustration
this day
and
age.
the anger and that must be within those people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's one thing to shoot at the guy wearing a uniform, aiming a gun at you. But, to shoot people running down a sidewalk away from you.
Right there, pictures of people carrying their groceries.
Yeah,
dead
it's
on the
like
street.
obviously, like you could tell they were living their normal life, not
Right.
combatants. It's
and
senseless. It's
it is
absolutely freaking senseless.
Absolutely senseless. And for what point?
Yeah.
They destroy a
The
whole
Ru-
country
look,
because no matter-
you can see the map in the window over there. Look how freaking big Russia is. Look, you need to take a little chunk of land to the left there towards
Yeah.
Europe. Look to the right.
It's one of
ridiculous.
the smaller countries in Europe.
Yeah.
It's not huge. It's not like India or
Ridiculous.
something.
Yeah, they got
It is the most inane,
pointless
for the 20th century to be so medieval and
Yes.
pathetic with gang warfare is just absolutely unconscionable. Unconscionable.
Yes.
Maybe he had to get his military out of the country because they're getting sick of him, staging a coup. Get him into somebody else's country, occupy him so they don't overthrow him. Who knows? I mean, you never, stranger things have probably happened already. We all watch Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, we are.
You know what the power-hungry people can do.
Oh.
It's every dictator ever. Genghis Khan to Alexander the Great. Everyone's,
Yeah, and I was saying that during World War II, the atrocities that happened, you saw them through the newspapers. You saw this is like real time. You see it right in your living room within hours of it happening, and on social media. And I don't know. I just hope the free world knows. You have to put your trust in the leaders of the free world and say they know what they're doing here and how they're handling it. And to us, maybe from the outside looking in, it seems like we should be doing so much more. But maybe if I don't know. You have to trust what they're doing.
Yeah, if they do more, the conflict grows. If we do more, maybe it'll end it, or maybe it'll get worse.
Right.
Is that what's
That's
the counterpoint is far scarier than the prospect of trying to help our allies, help them, and getting the aggressor out.
Yeah.
But and I think the insidious thing is that you keep hearing is Russian media is ended. There's no
Right, there's no
no
outside.
No, so they're only pumping propaganda. They're feeding. Those scoundrels Ukrainians are uprising and they're trying to overthrow the Russian government. And you feed the people enough lies, and eventually you start to believe it's true. You must be true because that's all I hear.
Right, absolutely, that's all I know.
Yeah, it's brutally suppressing any resistance or protests against the war and. Was it over the weekend that Navaliev guy, the guy they tried to poison? His number
right,
one.
Yes.
Put 9 more years on his prison sentence.
Right.
Lock him in a dungeon.
Right.
London Tower or London Dungeon, whatever that was called.
Yeah. London Tower. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Crazy.
So did you see how they now there's a lot of controversy with the congressional and all the districts that have been created with the new census, with the census that came out and the new lines.
Districting, yeah.
So the judge obviously threw out the new maps, but they're appealing it, of course. So we'll see what happens. I feel sorry. Or I feel frustration for the people that are running this year, the elected officials and those hoping to get elected.
New York?
You really don't know your district right now. So
it
could change. So you could be campaigning in a district that you won't even run in come November if the map changes and the lines
Imagine they
change.
moved you out of your own district. Yeah. What would happen? You couldn't run.
Couldn't run.
Imagine you have all sorts of time and money invested up to this point.
No. Couldn't run.
Now, New York was damaged by that. Didn't we lose representation?
We did. I think we lost 3 seats.
A House.
Yeah, Congress, yeah. I think
because you can't lose Senate. Everybody gets 2 senators. But.
Right.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
I think 3 or 4 seats we lost. So it'll be interesting. And plus, right now, for those that are involved in the political process, petitions need to be signed. So right now, the petitions are being signed.
Yeah, that's what I meant by putting all this time and money in, and
And they're saying the petitions still are due at the end of the month, no matter what. So.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. Yeah, the show must go on. Yeah, and you have to keep moving
That's probably
forward.
mandated, right?
Yeah.
I mean, constitutionally mandated. You can't just suspend the process because of a court challenge, I guess, right?
Yeah, and I understand that the primary can be pushed as far as late as the beginning of August. So the primary normally takes place in June. They can push it out to August
Now,
if need be.
this redistricting was done by the political redistricting based on the census figures, right? Okay.
Yes.
Because they're sort of related. It's political, sort of, but it's based on data from the census.
Right, exactly. And population shifts and so forth, right.
Which is why the census is so important.
Yes, and people, it was with COVID and everything that was going on during that time frame. It was difficult to complete the census, and a lot of controversy surrounding it, and who should be counted, and where they should be counted.
And how, in one house, is it,
If you're a college student, you get counted in the community where you're living as a college student. If you're in prison, do the prisoners get counted?
And during COVID, like people living in second homes and out of the city, living with relatives, and somebody showed up. How many people are living here? Well, today there's 12. Okay, 12.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
absolutely.
Or in wherever they left, no one's knocking on the door, and the census taker, I guess they have to use old data or whatever. But if they can't keep knocking on an empty house because someone's living somewhere else, I guess I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. So. The sense, with anything like that, it's only as good as the information that's being given to them. So, great point. So we'll see what happens with those maps and with those lines and the redistricting. It should be interesting in the upcoming months, but makes it difficult.
The other day I noticed a 30-cent per gallon difference in gas between a mobile on this side of the bridge and a mobile on the other side of the bridge.
It's so funny that you say that this morning in the Freeman.
30 cents.
It is 30 cents difference. They're
crazy.
saying that
It's
we're
too
30
mobile.
cents less.
Well, I don't know about tax, but just to perceive Dutch is more affluence over it. They can get away with it, I guess. I don't know.
Has something to
the
do
county,
with with distribution as well. It's a different form of distribution for the gas in Dutchess County than Ulster, and it makes a difference in the price as well.
That's only a penny or two a gallon.
I don't know
yeah.
why the 30 cents was huge.
That's economic.
Every week I read the different, how they give the update in the Freeman of the gas prices, and usually Dutchess and Ulster are a couple pennies apart.
Northern Dutch is always like I'm sure Poughkeepsie or Wappinger's on Route 9. There's things, but the affluent north of Dutchess County.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's 30 cents a gallon.
Yeah, more.
I was like, holy crap.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's substantial.
Yeah.
I was surprised about that. But throughout the whole Hudson Valley, it showed that whether it's a few cents or quite a bit,
Coming down,
It's
though.
coming down. Yeah, it is. Thank God.
Yeah. And it's like last week, March Gallagher was listening to her. She's brilliant.
She is.
Every time I listen to her, I'm more impressed with her talking about the tax revenue, and she basically was like the politicians that floated, let's cut the gas tax. Well, when you're paying $4.50 a gallon, what's 4 cents gonna really do?
Right.
And she's like, it's temporary, and she's like, if we do that, she's like, I never realized how much revenue we get from gasoline in this county because of the 3 throughway.
Oh,
hot stops.
stuff. Yeah.
She's like, when a truck pulls up and puts $300 worth of diesel, Ulster County's making $15. So.
And that's not on a resident of Ulster County.
Correct.
That's on travelers.
And that's what she's saying. So that would be, to save the residents of Ulster County, cumulative what, $100,000, 4 cents a gallon to 1 million gallons, that we're going to buy, compared to 400,000 that we're going to lose from the throughway. So it was like, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
March, you're a smart lady.
Speaking of March, if you go on the Ulster County Comptroller website, every quarter she puts out a newsletter. So her newsletter just came out yesterday.
Yeah, I want to check that out. If it
I have
has
to say,
stuff like that.
Oh, it does.
And
It's
like,
all about
the
the sales.
apple business, like how many apple farmers, and it's like, wow, man.
Yeah, and she has so all the sales tax projections, where we're at with the sales tax. She also has the different industries and which industries are thriving, which industries are not thriving. She has a whole section on the gas tax. If you have an opportunity, go on her website and look at the newsletter, full of information about Ulster County financial.
How much sales tax and hotel tax this county?
Yeah, she has a whole thing. The occupancy tax is like way up. Way up.
Yeah, and
I don't
along
remember
those
the percentage right now off the top of my head, but yeah, I was like shocked when I read it yesterday.
Along that occupancy, I just popped into my mind those 2 new glamping resorts that are opening up. Country, the one sounds pretty swank.
It does, doesn't it?
One that has like 3, Cape Cod and somewhere else. It has,
Yeah.
this is their 3rd location. I'd like to check out the operations up there. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know about glamping. I don't know. I'm not a camper, so I don't know if I'd be a camper. I don't know.
Camping, go camping. If you want to stay overnight somewhere, get a hotel.
Yeah, I think.
As far as I'm concerned,
I'm with you.
if you don't like camping, fine, don't camp.
Yeah.
But I think personally, my 2 cents. This is not the radio's opinion or anyone else's. I think every grown man, in order to be a man, should sleep on the ground a couple nights a year. Go camping and be back to your roots, or not roots. Be uncomfortable. Push your envelope. Life isn't so cushy. The least you can do is get out in the woods for a night and whatever. That's my editorial for the day. I think it's important for your soul that because I've done my whole life.
You've done it. You have.
Well, I just
Your son has done it.
August 2nd, Tuesday, August 2nd.
Yes.
I'm going back to the island camping with my buddies and our sons.
Oh, that's great.
So we're going to need a substitute on August 2nd.
Okay.
And it can be quite romantic, too.
It can be, yeah.
Camping trips with your partner.
Fall and spring, no summer. It's hot in the summer. Unless you're on an island in Lake George.
So, that's true. I never thought about that, but
when
it
it's
would
hot,
be
camping can
camping
be
in
not
the
so
summer.
fun. Spring and fall, beautiful. Crisp night,
Fall's probably
sitting around
really
a
beautiful.
campfire,
Yeah.
flannel shirt, little
That's the
hot
way to
coffee.
do it, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's what living's all. That's what
marshmallow
life's all
over the-
about. It's since time immemorial. Human beings have sat around the on the ground, drinking, looking at a campfire.
Yeah.
It's only been the last few hundred years that we've had beds and comfort and essential air and flush
Well, I had to
flush
say there was
toilets.
something about that outdoor fire and
Flush
sitting around
toilets.
a fire pit or
Yeah.
sitting. Yeah, very
Makes
enjoyable.
you feel, it connects you to our, ancestral. I don't know, evolution. I don't know.
does.
Sounds corny, but I really
It's the
believe it's
truth.
important.
Brings you
But-
back to nature.
But
Yeah,
if you like
no, for
hotels,
sure.
at least get away for a weekend. So
And you
at
always
least
get
one
to-
weekend a year, either go away or go camping. That's
You always
something.
could do a fire pit in the backyard and then
Exactly.
go home and go
There we
into your
go.
house and
All
go to
right.
sleep.
So it's 7:30, and we'll be back after a break.
With Heidi Kirshner in the Y.
And you're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio. Thank you, Nina and Cam. And thank you for listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio on AM 920 and 92.5 FM. My name is Dan Gatus, and it is 7:30 a.m. this Tuesday, April 4th, and 34 degrees here in Uptown Kingston. We'll be right back after these messages.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. We are a global force for good. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. We can do more together than we can alone. Join in. Experience the joy of serving. Be part of the movement. Give back. Let's unite the world for good. We are Lions. You can be too. Visit weserve.org.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. Cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Show the world that you're tougher than tough. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dina Roy from Hurley, and I support the Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
And thank you for being with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920, 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. 34 degrees on this Tuesday, April 4th, and sunshine and clouds mixed today with a high around 60 degrees. And cloudy with occasional rain later tonight. Chance of rain is 90% with a low of 42 degrees. Wednesday, a steady rain early, then remaining cloudy with a few showers, a high of 54, and the chance of rain is 90%. And 50% chance of rain Wednesday night, and cloudy, and then off and on rain showers after midnight with a low of 44 degrees. Thursday, periods of rain with a high of 51, chance of rain is 100%. And Thursday night, 44 degrees is our low with steady rain in the evening. Showers continuing late with that 100% chance of rain again. And let's see. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is being brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union, 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston is their main office. So let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Posterpak, Cameron Rylance, and our YMCA guests.
And we're back. Terrific Tuesday. We are joined, as we are this time slot every month, by Heidi Kirshner, director of the YMCA. And you brought a guest with you. Why don't you, introduce, we know him, but you introduce him.
Yes. Well, here, on my left, I have Tom Polk this morning. He's our bike educator at the YMCA of Kingston. And
Heidi, okay.
Oh, your mic doesn't
Want
work.
to hop on the end? There you go. The head of the table. Is that me? Oh, no, I wasn't touching anything. There we go. Technical. Beep, right, the thing. We are experiencing technical
Right.
difficulties. So,
good morning.
Start over. Morning. Yes, we
Start
are.
this again.
Heidi, good morning.
Good morning to everyone. Take two. So today I brought with me Tom Polk. He's our bike educator at the YMCA, and he does all of our programming, has started the program, and so there's many dimensions of our program today between education, bike riding, public outreach, and then actually his Lend a Wheel program that he invented as well. So, Tom, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you guys for
glad
having
you're
me
here
today.
with us.
It is looking a little more like spring every day.
Yes.
And so people may be thinking about getting on their bikes. So I thought I'd try and shoe into this great show you guys have and talk a little bit about biking this spring and what we're doing at the Y, what's coming up. So if you want me to,
Well,
I can.
I know personally, you're an avid cyclist, and you got to be very happy with the changes in our community, with the bike lanes and rail trails and all that, and the opportunities that abound. How are you linking like your education at the Y stuff, your clinics and all that? Are you able to tie everything in? And
Well, we are. And certainly Midtown Kingston now has so many more bike facilities that when we start a ride from the YMCA, we can get on either the Midtown Linear Park, which goes from O'Neill Street to Kingston Plaza. And it's fully paved now, which was a great improvement.
On it since
it's nice.
Oh,
So much easier to
great
walk or
ride.
bike.
Yeah.
And then the new Broadway bike lane. And we're very involved with the city in trying to educate drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians how to use the new Broadway, really. There are a lot of changes for everybody who takes Broadway for a travel route. So we're going to be using that bike lane as a way to do some safety education. And we've always been out on the rail trails. Our youth programs, we take kids out all over the county. But now the trails are, there are more of them, as you said, and they're also in better shape. They've been really revamped and resurfaced in the case of the Walk Hill Trail.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then we have the brand new trail down at the Brickyards along the riverfront. So
Those are great.
Ulster County really is very special in that regard. I don't think anywhere else in the state you've got so many miles of trails that have been developed.
And they're sort of connecting them too. I know they're expanding the linear park, the one from the plaza. Coming. It's almost to the hospital, practically. Through
Right.
Minervini's, the old body shop there. They extended it those few blocks, which is great.
And one that's coming up, I think will be in construction this year, is from Washington Avenue to the Hurley Rail Trail.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a very rough, unpaved.
Oh, yeah, along the rail tracks there.
Well, it's on the other side of the creek.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is a trail there, but it's been, basically a dirt little path for years.
Yeah, wow.
Can get pretty mucky.
But the county has been able to get some state funding, and I believe they're going to be in construction, so it
Opening it
might
up.
be
Wow.
a nice paved trail from Kingston to the Hurley paved trail, so you could go all the way.
Now, there's a site aside there. That would be nice because there's some planned development back there.
Yep.
Some apartments and stuff. And, tying that in, makes Kingston a more, bikeable community, whatever. So that's, that's pretty cool.
No, and
that's neat.
The research shows that bike trails, rail trails, whatever you want to call them, do add value to properties nearby because it becomes more desirable. People do say, "Hey, I can get on the rail trail from this new apartment or this housing complex that's going up nearby." So it's an economic development.
Yeah, I agree.
Tool as well as a recreation and transportation tool. So yes, we like all the things that the county has been doing, the state has been doing, and I know there are plans for the county to use additional funds from the pandemic monies they got from the feds to do some more trail building and rehabilitation. So we look forward to that.
So now, Tom, at the Y, you have youth programs as well as adult programs. So what are some of the youth programs or things that you do with, and what age group do you work with the kids?
We use, we use the middle school age group primarily, so 9, 10 to even early high school. We get kids who participate. And we run on Saturday mornings from 9 to noon. In the spring and fall, we have 2 sessions. And each week we do some kind of bike education lesson. So initially they're bike safety. We teach kids how to control their bikes better, how to ride in traffic, what the right hand signals are. And then we move on to how do you repair a flat, how do you keep your bike clean and lubricated, how do you adjust the brakes. And after each lesson, we go for a bike ride. So it's very hands-on, and we try and give the kids a good experience all the way around the county. So we start off in the city of Kingston, but then each week we're at a different location in the county.
Oh, that's great. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So where do you move from, where are some of the locations within the county that you go to?
We have been down at the Brickyards, so we've done the Brickyards Trail. So we went down to Kingston Point Park and parked there, and then rode back and forth on the trail down to New Paltz. So the rail trail from New Paltz to Gardner is a really beautiful stretch. We also go out to different trailheads in Hurley, so we can start either where the trail ends at 209 and go all the way along the paved section, or we can start where the parking lot where the woods are and go further south towards Cottick Hill. Let's see. We also do. We've gone over the Rosendale Trestle.
I would say the O&W is
that's
great.
a great
yeah.
one. Yeah, that is a
and then
great
there's
trail.
another trestle over the Walk Hill closer to New Paltz. So right now I've probably got 20 or so rides that we can choose from on any given cycle. So, and I'm always looking for new routes. So it's fun. We go up to the reservoir too, both the Ashokan Reservoir Trail.
Oh, that's yeah.
Which is 11 miles long, so we usually do one section of it and then turn around and come back. And then we also ride around the south part where the dike is and the paved trail that's been there for a long time. So that's our middle school program. We call it Bike It on Saturday mornings. We also are in the middle schools in Kingston every spring after school. So we don't have as much time after school to do a program, but we do get a short ride in around the neighborhood of each of the schools, Bailey and Miller. And then elementary age kids, we work with the Hodge Center and the Rondout Community Center to do after-school programs with the kids that go to those centers. So we do go to the elementary level, and we have some programs that are not biking per se, but they're more traffic safety oriented.
Right.
So we'll work with kids either in a playground or in a gym, and we'll do games that have a traffic safety theme. So we'll do red light, green light. We'll do Simon Says. We'll do follow the leader, but all with an element of how the kids can learn something about how to be a safe pedestrian, how to be a safer biker, what is traffic, how are roads important to us, and how can we be safe around them.
What's the words of advice you would give someone who is a biker, and especially now with all the bike lanes and so forth? What are the most important points that people should remember when they're on the bike? I know the driver has certain points to think about, the person crossing the street, and then the biker themselves. What would you say are the most important points?
We have what we call the 6 need-to-knows for cyclists. The first one is follow the law. So we like everyone on the roads, in the bike lanes or on the bike trails to follow whatever rules are appropriate to that situation. So typically that means riding on the right, riding with traffic, obeying traffic signals and signs, yielding to pedestrians. On trails, it means yielding to equestrians. So you have to do that, number one. So following the law is the thing I would stress the most to anybody out walking or biking. We also then tell people to be conspicuous, make sure you're seen. So during the daytime, bright fluorescent colors, safety vests, which we've been giving out at the Y. And at nighttime, you definitely need to have lights on. If you're out at all after the sun starts to go down, you want to have lights and you want to have reflective materials either on your ankles or a vest or both. So being conspicuous is important. Being predictable is the third one. So we always want people to be able to anticipate what you're going to do on the bike, just like we would like to anticipate what the driver in a car or a pedestrian is going to do. So don't weave in and out of the lanes. Don't try any kind of bike tricks that might be fun to do unless you're in an empty space where there aren't any cars that you can do that and have fun. So that's the next one. Then we want people to ride ready, which means having their bike checked over to make sure there aren't any safety concerns about the mechanics of what they're riding. So we always ask the kids, and I do it with adults as well, to do a safety check before they ride. So they check the air in their tires, they check their brakes, they check their chain, they make sure that all the fittings on the bike are tight, nothing is loose, wobbly, going to fall off, or otherwise not work properly. And fifthly, plan ahead. We like people to think about their trip, whatever they're doing it for, whether it's recreation or whether it's to get to a job or to get to the store, and try and figure out in advance where they're going to be going, why they're choosing a particular route, and then just be heads up when they're riding. So it's akin to defensive driving. We want people to be aware of their surroundings, aware of what they're doing, and also aware that other folks out there may not be following every single letter of the law. And I think the most important thing in this particular one I emphasize is people who are potentially distracted.
I ride my bike a lot, and it's amazing how many people are distracted with cell phones, whatever.
And the other thing that we like to use on the bicycle is we have hand signals so people can see if we're going to turn or go straight. And we also use our voices to say, I'm turning left, I'm turning right. But people with earbuds aren't going to hear you whatever you're doing. So I have to caution folks when they do signal that you have to look ahead and make sure you don't startle someone who is not hearing you. And the last one is keep your cool. So too often we've seen aggressive drivers, we've seen angry cyclists, angry pedestrians. So I always counsel people, even if you think you're totally in the right and someone has flagrantly, disregarded the law or disrespected you, it's not the time or the place to settle an argument. You're not going to settle an argument on the road or on the side of the road anyways. So keep your cool, smile, just remember the good times, the number of people that have treated you well out there, and just move on with it. So that's what I would say. Need a long answer.
That's great.
That is.
6 great points. Because now I think it's it's so new to everybody with the bike lanes, and I think everybody's struggling right now to be safe and to follow the rules and regulations, but not really certain what to do. So that's fantastic, and I think it's great to educate people. So you're doing safety courses in the schools as well as at the Y itself.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, which is fantastic, because we've talked about that with water safety. So the same thing with bike safety.
Yeah.
Now, these programs, do you have to be a member of the Y, or are they open to anyone?
They're open to the public. Almost all the programs are free. We do have the Saturday morning program where there is a registration fee. So there's a fee of $75 for non-members, and for YMCA members, it's $50 for the 8 weeks.
Travel involved with that, so there's...
Well, we also provide,
So.
We also provide the kids with a bike patch kit. They get a Bike It t-shirt. They also get what's called a bike multi-tool, which is a very compact little tool that you can put in your pocket and can solve minor problems when you're on a ride.
Oh, can you buy those?
Yeah.
You can get them at a bike store or
Yeah,
Walmart?
yeah, they're very common. They usually run, 10. Well, you can get really fancy ones that are $30 or $40.
You buy titanium ones, and
And they have everything from a can opener to a buzzsaw. But the ones we have are basically a screwdriver, different hex wrench sizes, and those will take care of the majority of things that you might need to fix. Yeah.
They're like the size of a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
And they've got all the little heads on them. They're
Gadgets on it, yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
What else was I going to tell you guys about?
I like the share, lend a bike or the share,
Yes.
bike share. What's it called?
Lend a wheel.
Lend a wheel. Yes.
So that's our version of a bike recycling program. So we at the Y are fortunate to have donations of used bicycles that people are no longer riding, or their kids outgrew, or whatever. They're not using the bikes. So we fix them up, we make sure they're safe to ride, and then we make them available to people in the community who need basic transportation. So that really took off during the pandemic. We had a lot of people who were trying to get around town.
Bikes were scarce.
Bikes were scarce, and public transportation and taxis, everything was shut down pretty much. So if you had a job and you wanted to get to work, a bike was a godsend. So we're continuing to do that. We have a waiting list of about 20 people. So I would encourage you, if you do need a bike to get around, to come in.
And if any listeners have a bike, can they? How can they get a hold of you? Or
They should email me with a photo of the bike, because we can't use every single bike that's out there. So I always ask people before they take the time and trouble to come into the Y, take a quick picture of it, email me, and then I can say whether or not we could find a home for that particular bike.
And Tom's email address is tpolk@ymcaulster.org.
And you can also go to the bicycle programs page on the website, and it's got more details about our donation guidelines, and my email's on there too.
Yeah.
We also do something related to.
So one other question: is there any type of bike you're looking? Kids, mid-size, women's bikes, mixedy. What? Any?
We're looking for adult bikes right now, and either mountain bikes or hybrid bikes. Male, female, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right now, I have about 4 people on my waiting list who are over 6 foot tall. So anyone with a big bike that's reasonable, we could really use, because I know I could get it out to someone very quickly. But really, any type of hybrid or mountain bike, we can get if it's salvageable. We'll get it back on the road.
Serviceable machine, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's really old, call them because it's worth money, right?
Well, that's one thing that we have gotten into.
Or
because we did get donations that were really nice bikes, but they were what we would call an old school 10-speed. Back in the 70s, a lot of bikes from Europe and from Japan were sold in the U.S., and now they're collector's items. So when we get bikes like that I know people are not really interested in riding for around town, they have skinny tires, the handlebars go down. They're more for people who are really into biking.
Yeah.
Or into
I'm
collecting.
sure you know them. I had this Peugeot that you would love to see. It was my mom's bike in a 70s.
Well, talk to me later. Yes,
I ride it. I love it.
Anyway, so we put those on Craigslist and we raise money for the
I
program.
was going to say, if you get a valuable bike, you can turn it around for the program.
So, Tom, I mean, on average, how between all you put the work in, the time in, and the work, I mean, there's a lot of money that goes into bringing these bikes back.
Yeah, we use a lot of sweat labor, so it's hard to give a precise dollar amount, but we always make sure that the bikes have all the safety equipment that they're required to. So there's a front and rear reflectors, they need bells, they need everything to be working and in good shape. So it's well over $100. Plus, we also offer bike locks, bike helmets, and bike lights if the person's going to be riding at night. So it could be $150.
Right, stuff that. So, and you do this program primarily, yes, on donations. So if you don't have a bike and you'd like to donate to the program, please do, because last year I think you did over 240 bikes.
Yep.
Oh,
so
that's a lot.
That's
a lot of wheel. That's a lot of wheel truing right there.
Yeah, and
you're good at it. Are you looking for volunteers?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
always
contact you. Same, for bikes or volunteers or both.
Yep.
Someone can do both.
Yep. I'll take all those required. Yeah. And one of the things that we like to have volunteers for is our monthly repair clinics. So every month at the Y, we will be out in the parking lot with our volunteer mechanics and lots of bicycle and pedestrian education information. And at those clinics, people can bring their bike in. And we can at least evaluate what's going on with the bike. We can't say that we're going to fix everything because sometimes the bikes really need a major overhaul or something that a bike shop needs to do, so we refer them to our local bike shops. But we have volunteers who basically staff those clinics every month, and for a lot of bikes, it's either pumping up the tires, it's adjusting the brakes, or explaining to the person, this is how your bike should be working, because they might not think it's working, but they can be taught that yes, everything is okay.
Proper gear selection. It kills me to see someone riding down the street in the wrong gear. You're in a low gear, furiously pumping, and it's there's an 18-speed bike. Whether either it's broken or you've never really been taught how to select your gears.
Yeah, that's a great example.
It's just man, kid, you could be going 3 times faster right now with half the effort.
Yeah, but, that's exactly one of the things that we point out to people, how to use your gears properly, because it really does make biking a lot more fun.
Downshift before you stop, because starting up again is a pain in the neck.
Yeah, in a hard gear.
There's those little tips that make biking so much more enjoyable and easier and accessible, and
yeah. And that was the focus of a class I did just this past weekend for adults. So this is called Smart Cycling, which is a curriculum that is developed by the League of American Bicyclists. So the national organization that I'm certified with to teach does an adult program, or has the curricula for an adult program. So we had people out in the YMCA parking lot doing the same parking lot drills that the kids do, but at, of course, at a little bit higher level. And we share tips like that, when you're shifting gears, what's the best gear to be in? How do you know what kind of bike you should be riding? What's the best for you? How do you know the bike actually fits you?
Size, that's very important too, And you see people with their seat too high or too low, and, their chin's either hitting their knee or they're hyperextending their knee to complete a stroke,
Yeah. So those are exactly the things that we, anyone who wants to enjoy biking and be safe on the bike, all those things are really important to know. And sometimes, people will be riding for years and not realize that, oh, really? I could do that? That's
so much more comfortable.
Yeah, I don't have to hurt
rotating my bars forward or whatever. Yeah, it's true. You've been riding your whole life, hurting your shoulders and
thinking that's the way it is.
3 inches, you're like, wow, my back doesn't hurt now. So
absolutely.
Little things.
So, Tom, our schedule for the repair clinics is on the website.
Yes, April 22nd, Friday the 22nd is our next clinic from 3 to 5:30. So if you're able to come at 3 and get on the waiting list, there's no advance registration, so it's first come, first served. So I advise you to get there at 3 and sign up, and we ask people to wait and not leave their bikes with us in case we have questions or want to point something out to them. So you just got to kind of be a little patient. And then on the 23rd of April, Saturday, is our first youth Bike It program, and registration for that is open right now, and we do have spaces left for Bike It.
Great. So, Heidi, we got about 5 minutes left. Is there anything you'd like to say about the Y? Sorry, listeners, if you're waiting for the announcement from Heidi. We got 25 minutes of bike talk here. Sorry. I don't think you minded that.
Oh, no, not at all. I love our bike programs. They're really great. So, no, just swim lessons are open, registration.
Any room for camp?
There's lots of room for camp. We've got 4 camps, and registration is open. I encourage everyone to get signed up because it's filling up.
Yeah, I bet. This is the time of year when people start going, summer's in 3 months.
And we also have our rowing program again down at the Roundout this summer.
Fantastic.
It's July 11th. That runs for 2 weeks, and then July 25th runs for 2 weeks, and that is also on the website. So I encourage, if you're looking for something for your children to do, for a day, a week, 2 weeks, check out the YMCA website. There's lots going on.
Do you do any bike stuff with the camps in conjunction with camps? Or?
Yes, we do.
That's cool.
Our Camp Esopus and Camp Starfish get instruction through Tom.
Perfect.
So
Tom, you're a busy man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he is very busy.
That's more than 7 days a week, 7 hours a day.
Sometimes it feels that way, but
yes.
There also will be an Easter egg hunt up at Camp Siwakamano on the 16th of April. There's no charge for that. You just got to find your way up. That's on our website. We're also running spring break camp because spring break is so late. So there's a spring break camp up at Siwakamano this year. We also have a cool spring break program at the Y as well. So we have a lot going on. We have our Kids Classic. I think it's whatever that first Saturday in May is. Is that the 7th? That's coming up. And we have our Hometown Hero celebration on Tuesday. Is that the 24th? I'm all out of sorts. But, we have
You've nailed them both.
Recipients.
You've nailed them both.
Are they? Okay.
Yes, yeah. The 7th on the
So our
24th.
Healthy Living is Hank Van Paris. He's in his 80s. He's been at the Y forever, so he's great. Our Social Responsibility is Stephanie Kresser through Mentor Me. Yeah. Let's see, Healthy Living, Social Responsibility, and Youth Development. We have...
the crew, right?
No, we have Frankie Waters, because all his stuff he does with My Kingston Kids, and then our Employee of the Year is Brooke Winchell. So awesome, folks. So come. It's a luncheon, so it's like from 12 to 2 on the 24th. It's down at Old Savannah. You can sign up on our website. So
let's do the awards presentation.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's just purely awards. We used to do both awards and another dinner or bow ties and blue jeans, but it just got too congested. So we wanted to give the awardees their due.
Their day.
Yeah,
That's
right.
great.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So,
They're all worth it. So
Yeah.
that's a nice.
Yeah, so it should be fun, lots of fun. So come, and if you would like to participate, please come. It's on the website. You can sign up. And then, of course, we have all our swim programs, lifeguarding classes, folks. Make sure you get your
lifeguarding.
Yes, now's the time.
CPR
Get in for
classes,
that.
for all you camp folks who want to get in, do that, please. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of great stuff going on.
And it's all on the website,
Yep.
right? Go check
Running
it out.
clinics going on Saturday morning for the kids. This is
nice.
build up to the Kingston Classic. So we have a whole bunch of kids in our facility on Saturday morning running like crazy. So it's enjoyable.
That's
Indoor basketball still going on, right?
The leagues finished last week.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm sorry, the clinics finished last week, and then we've got the leagues coming up, and they're also on our website.
Great.
So, and we're looking to do some basketball tournaments this summer.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yep. working with our district attorney to put some fun stuff together for the kids
Cool.
in the community.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. So, thank you guys so much. A wealth of information by you both, and keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great to have you.
And join us at the Wire. I think we'll be back outdoors in a week or two with our classes.
Put a tent up again?
Oh, yes, we put several tents up.
Wow, great.
Yeah.
So
that
it's
is
nice.
Yep.
Come.
One good thing out of COVID, you realize you can move outdoors, right?
Yes,
So that's
come
great.
see us.
Awesome. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Take
and
care.
we'll go to break, and we'll be back with birthdays. So.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks.
Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Heidi Kirshner, and a very special thanks to Tom Polk for coming in and talking about all the biking programs here at the Y and throughout the county. Many thanks to Nina and Cam for bringing us around to the 8 o'clock segment. And this last portion of Kingston Community Radio was brought to you by Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. 1099 Morton Boulevard in Kingston is their main office. And it's Tuesday, April 4th, and 33 degrees right now. We dropped a couple degrees throughout the hour, and we'll see why. We'll be right back after these messages.
I'm Tino from 12220. In my community, a lot of families don't encourage higher education.
I'm Guy in zip code 40220. I like my neighborhood okay, but sometimes it's hard to make friends here.
The Y Achievers program opened my eyes to future possibilities and helped me prep for college.
At the Y camp, it's really a safe place. All of the people there are really accepting and nice.
At the Y, my zip code doesn't define my future.
I do.
Support your local Y at ymca.net/for-a-better-us.
What is us?
Us is a foundation.
Us is the future.
Us is a bond. But right now, that bond is fraying.
And we need a place that could make it whole.
From diabetes prevention to safety around water.
The Y fills the gaps.
And bridges our divides.
But they can't do it without us.
Donate today.
Because where there's a Y, there's an us.
Read by members of the Y.
The Y, for a better us.
Hi, my name's Maggie. I'm from Copic, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
And you're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit rgbaum.com for more information. Sunshine and clouds mixed today with a high of 60 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful day. Cloudy with occasional rain later Tuesday night with a low of 42 degrees. We've got a 90% chance of rain on Tuesday night. And Wednesday, a 90% chance of rain, steady rain early, then remaining cloudy with a few showers later during the day on Wednesday with a high of 54. Cloudy in the evening, then off and on rain showers after midnight, low 44 degrees. Chance of rain 50%, which usually means we're going to get rain. And Thursday, periods of rain with a high of 51, and that chance of rain is 100%. And Thursday night, steady rain in the evening, and showers continuing late with a low of 44, another 100% chance of rain there. And I did take a peek ahead for Friday and Saturday, and we've got rain Friday and Saturday throughout the days and nights. For Friday and Saturday. Hopefully we wake up on Sunday with a nice sunny day. And without further ado, let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Postyapak, Cameron Rylance, and our new guest.
All right, we are back with a special guest from Ulster Savings, who we'll introduce in a moment. But first, we have a birthday. It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had a birthday. Unfortunately, we only have one today. But either way, the cow pie giveaway for the Boyce Brothers Dairy Milk House today for Tuesday, April 5th. We would like to wish a very happiest of birthdays to Amanda Harris on today, April 15th, from your family and friends. So congratulations.
This is April 5th.
Happy birthday, Amanda.
You are the recipient of today's cow pie giveaway. So go see the fine folks at the Milk House on 62 O'Neill Street. claim your cow pie, load up on all your other dairy goods and their wonderful products, and say thank you. And thank you for sending your name in. And Dan, why don't you tell people how they can get...
I just wanted to verify that you said April 5th.
Yes.
You said 15th.
Oh, did I? April 5th.
Okay, good.
Today
good.
is April 5th.
I don't even want
thinking of
anybody...
taxes.
Amanda Harris. Yeah, April. Amanda Harris is our winner. Okay.
Maybe you're thinking of taxes.
All right.
Okay, excellent. And of course, you can send them in. In many, you can use carrier pigeon or email them at kcr921@gmail.com. That's the best way to do it. Don't call them in though, but you can also mail them to Post Office Box 4364, Kingston, New York 12402.
Let's use a raven like Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
You got to crack the window a little bit so
Yeah.
I can get in. All right. So anyhow, I'm sorry, Crystal. We are actually, this is a serious radio show here. Believe it doesn't sound like it, but we are hard-hitting morning journalists. So Crystal Jacobs, good morning.
Good morning.
From Ulster Savings Bank, and you just told me you are their training specialist. So what the heck is a training specialist, and what are you doing at a bank?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to know in a bank, so it's important that, we're educated professionals, that we're making sure that we're bringing the best of everything that we have to offer. So our people have to be, have product knowledge. I oversee all the training for all the branch staff. So
is this all levels of onboarding for the bank?
Yeah, we start with teller training. They, go through, it's about 2 weeks of that with a mix of on-the-job training in the branches and then a full week of classroom training with myself. We also teach new account representatives, that's a 3-day program where we teach them to make sure they're educated in all of the new account products so they can assist our customers. We do customer service training and making sure we're bringing our...
Because you guys, the bank, have payroll service, insurance, financial services. That's like 10 different fields of training. Are you responsible for all of them?
No, I'm only doing the branch side of the training,
Okay,
but we do have other training programs for all of those areas of the bank.
Wow. So every business around town pretty much has a help wanted sign out front. What is there a big one on Ulster Savings?
There is. We do have some open positions in the branches right now, and we're trying our best. I know that everyone's struggling to get help right now, but we have been lucky. Every single month we have a training program, and there is at least one person that we've had in that. So and it's nice.
So you have so your portion of the training, it's a monthly program, and you're starting a program every month?
Every month I have like a list of classes that I do. So it's I do teller training for a week, I do new account training, customer service.
It's a monthly cycle, so like 10, 12 cycles a year of wow. How many people do you typically? I mean, a COVID probably skewed your numbers, I'm sure, because of closings and
Yep. But for
quote unquote normally, how many people would you train or see every year?
For classes for existing employees, like a customer service or a sales training program, anywhere from 5 to 10, depending on
a year.
A year. I mean,
so 5, 10 a month. So you're 100 people.
Well, some
a year,
of my classes I do quarterly. So I would say lots. I mean, I can't even give you a number. I'm prepared with that.
A few hundred probably between new hires and rehiring or people moving within the company.
Oh yeah, right. Because Ulster Savings is great at making sure that we're promoting from within. So that's what my job is. I do run another program. It's called the Banker Professional Program, our Certified Banking Professional Program. It's similar to a management development program, but these individuals get selected for their commitment to the organization, their professionalism. They get recommended by their supervisors and managers to participate. They go through a committee review to say, okay, yes, this is a perfect person that we want to start on a path of bench strength for the next levels of leadership. And then they spend a whole year with me for different training mechanisms. We do online classes, we do classroom classes, and it's a full year commitment that they graduate at the end, but they've got a well-rounded knowledge from everything.
So how many people in the bank, as far as HR, how many people do you have doing training? Because there's so many different levels that your new hires as opposed to your management, so forth. So how many do you have actually doing training?
I want to say there's 3 of us. There's an actual trainer in the HR department. I'm a trainer for the branch department. And then there's a trainer for like the lending area that it's like a split job for him.
So how many branches Ulster Savings have?
14.
Wow.
Right. Like we added Hyde Park this year. I'm like, is that 14, 15?
So 14.
14 to 15. There
I'm
we
like,
go.
yeah, I was like, in my
Some
head.
branches are big, Essential's big, Uptown.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to think. Each branch probably has minimum 4, 5, 7 employees times 14.
Yeah, like our lowest branch staffing model is 4. There's, even if it's a smaller branch with a smaller market, banking, you still have, you have to make sure that there's
2 people
safety.
there.
Right,
20,
exactly. There's,
8
there's
hours
a security
day.
safety, there's a control, safety with positions and what.
Sure, money, oversight,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. That's mandated, I'm sure.
Employees move from branch to branch also, so you
we
can
do
be
have
in a
floats.
small, right, so then you can be in a
that's
small
awesome.
office. Yes, right?
I'm in 2, Uptown and Schwank, at least one of them once a week, and it's, to see people, hey, you're here now.
Right, I
Yeah.
saw you somewhere.
You've been Uptown for 3 years. Welcome here.
Yes, no, we help each other out.
Yeah, that's great.
As a community bank, and our folks are very supportive. We normally will travel to help anywhere when there's an issue.
Still says also savings on your paycheck, so.
Right.
Today you're driving to Rosendale, sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
So is the teller position normally your entry level position into banking? So if you're interested, people that are listening now and maybe want a career in the banking field, and want to start somewhere, would you suggest the teller position is your beginning position to learn the overall, aspects of banking and so forth?
Yep, absolutely. So in the branches, that is the perfect place to start. And we call, right now they are teller positions, but the training program that they participate in really gives them skills, more like a universal banking kind of role. They learn all different jobs in that role, and then they get to progress. We have roles from branch supervisor to assistant head tellers to assistant managers to branch managers. So there's lots of different layers to advance your career within the branch.
And so in the main, areas that you can concentrate in the banking field would be your customer service, your tellers, your branch managers, and so forth. Then there's the lending end of it, correct?
Yes.
So can you just explain the different areas in banking that people could maybe become familiar with if they're interested in a career?
Yeah, so the lending side of the house, there's so much that goes into that. You could do residential lending, which is, mortgages and home equity loans. You have the commercial lending, which is all the business loans. There's servicing, because we have to have people then that service those loans afterward. There's underwriters and originators. There's so many different levels, and quality control and all of those things. We have lots of back office positions that, you have to run all different areas. We have electronic banking, like through our deposit ops, where they help folks with all of those different alternative deliveries and channels. Customer service, we have a customer service department that answers all of our phone calls. So they're, on headsets all day, making sure we're answering our customers' questions and being available for them. Lots of different things.
Yeah,
There's the payroll services, like you said. There's the
Yeah.
insurance services. We have financial planning and all of the investment side of the house.
The stockbrokers or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
and then I'm sure you have like a cybersecurity and fraud and department.
BSA, those are all required. Like every bank has to have.
You guys are good. I got first-hand knowledge. A couple months ago, I was at Restaurant Depot in Newburgh shopping, couple big orders, and I was buying stuff for my job and the Elks Lodge, and I didn't have my job credit card, so I put them both on my personal card. So I charged one and then back to back, saying, okay, this is 150 here, 150 there. Like a second later, as soon as I did the second one, I scanned it, my phone rang, and I was in the line. As my card was in the machine at Restaurant Depot, my phone, I got an alert, fraud alert, and then call 1-800 whatever, and it froze. It was like that. I was like, wow, these guys are good.
Yeah. And we try to offer a lot of services to help people manage those things even independently. Yes, we do have good fraud prevention services that are monitoring those, like, okay, 2 transactions back to back, that's weird. It's kind of a red flag. It sticks
And
out.
they're both, a couple $100 each, $150 each, whatever. And
But through our online banking services, folks can have complete control of their debit card. So you can turn your card on and off and leave it. I always say my 15-year-old daughter's smart, because now Ulster Savings allows 15-year-olds to have their own checking account. It starts
good.
So
that is good.
It is good. So it helps teach them, financial literacy, which April, right, is Financial Literacy Month. So they're learning, to be responsible little humans with their money or their allowances, or what grandma and grandpa's given them.
Which, on a separate side note, is so, I think, not stressed enough, the importance of personal financial knowledge, whatever.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you can take a first-time home buyer's course or something for adults, but for kids, what is interest? What does it mean? A credit card. What's the 13% interest mean? What's the the difference? That practical math knowledge is.
And
I know this is completely aside from what we were talking about, but I think it's so important.
No, it was on my list of
I don't know
things.
how if a bank can offer lessons or whatever, but.
With April, like I was just saying, with financial literacy, we are part of the American Banker Association's program called Teach Children to Save. So I think it's April 28th is the actual day, but all throughout the month, our branch managers organize programs where we pair up with this program to go to the grade school, and we go to middle school, and our branch managers provide, education on those types of levels. What is a checking account? Debit cards.
I remember in George Washington School when I was a kid, Ulster had an Ulster Savings Bank passbook. Rylands Printing made millions of those stupid things all over the world. And it was like Tuesdays or whatever. We bring in, I remember bringing in coins, and the teacher or whoever would stamp it, and you'd see, like, that's gone. And like
we
that.
try to give an incentive
Well,
for
call my
it.
dad. He can probably get some passbooks made for you.
Because, like I said, we have that checking account that you could start at age 13, and we have online education that we offer then to these children. And if they take all of the modules in the training program, we tell them, come on back and show us your certificate that you did this, and we'll give you $25 deposit into your account. And for a 13-year-old, that's like,
We all summer to make $25.
Right. So that and it's just, a parent has to be on with them, of course. Like, we have to have some type of oversight for the youth, but it's really, they're loving it. I mean, they're loving having their debit card and shopping themselves and their own responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, fiscal responsibility is huge.
So I've never heard that terminology before, financial literacy. So maybe you could explain that a little bit, what April is and what financial literacy actually is.
Thing, or is that an Ulster Savings thing?
Well, it's through the American Banker Association, which we're part of.
National
I think it may be a national thing too. But it's part of what we strive to do. We don't just do this for youth. I mean, yes, it is Teach Children to Save Month for that. But our website offers an entire catalog of online education programs that people can take through, what goes into a credit score, how can I better prepare myself for retirement, all these little small courses, 5 to 7 minutes, just like little things videos that we give people to learn those types of things. Saving for a first time, mortgage.
Yeah.
How do I, save for my first home? All of these things we want to make sure that we're bringing that education to the community.
Home equity versus whatever, personal.
Because it can be overwhelming, folks that, don't come from like a financial background or a banking background. You walk into folks and you're like, I need a mortgage and I know nothing about that, or,
Which
nowhere
is probably
to
the
start.
majority of people.
Right,
because really,
So you go through it.
Yeah. Well, I remember myself. I mean, my husband and I, when we first, I think I was like 25, and we're like, we want to get a mortgage, and we're still, we got married, and then we were in an apartment. They sold the apartment.
Oh, that's gross.
Right.
They're like, what?
What's
point?
Why
do you got to hold my money?
You don't have a down payment. You're going to need PMI insurance. I'm like, what is that? You're just overwhelmed and confused by it. So, Ulster's really trying to help dissect those things in small pieces to let people feel more comfortable comfortable where they can be part of that conversation, and it's a two-way communication with your lender, not just being felt like you're being spoken at with an information overload.
Well, I mean, that's demonstrating a level of responsibility. That's wonderful. The bubble, 8, 10, 12 years ago, the housing bubble, whatever, that was all because of financial illiteracy. People, ruthless
Very
bankers trying to meet their quotas or get their bonus because they wrote them $10 million in mortgages, whatever, pushing people into investment or loan vehicles or whatever, loan options that were terrible, but people didn't know. Right. Oh, look, it's only $3,000 a month, or whatever. They signed in, and all of a sudden, not balloon payments and not fixed rates and whatever, short notes or 20-year terming, whatever their problems were. A lot of that was formed or the result of financial illiteracy. So
so
being proactive on your part, that's a wonderful demonstration of your bank's commitment to.
And this year as well, I mean, we spend a lot of time trying to and focus groups and brainstorming, like what can we do to bring to our community that's going to help and bring tremendous value, because you can go into any financial institution. There are a ton in our community, and they're all, they all have fabulous people, that work for them. And we want to just say, okay, but what's in a checking account? What can we add to it? So this year we just rolled out a whole new suite of checking accounts to our customers and our potential customers that offer unique services like never before. So Roadside Assistance, it's now part of your checking account at Ulster. So I don't know what you pay for that. We've been asking people, what do you pay for that on your Allstate bill? Take a look, and people are like, oh, I pay like $65 a year. Well, you can now cancel that because we offer that for you. Identity theft restoration now is part of your checking account. So if that's huge right now, identity theft and these smash and grabs and, people being a victim with that. And now we can help you if you do become that victim in that circumstance, to be able to help you to rebuild your credit and rebuild your identity. Cell phone protection, especially with the little ones, we're doing up to $800 a year. So that's something you're probably paying a lot at Verizon and Apple Care and you name it. So now that is also part of your checking account at Ulster Savings Bank. Roadside Assistance. Yeah, right? Like, so did I say that? Roadside Assistance?
Yeah, you did,
Yeah, like, so get into a jam, right? Also, one that's so unique, like how many times have you bought something, right? Remember the old Best Buy days? You're going to buy a new camera, you're going to buy a new something, and they're like, would you like to buy the extended warranty, right, for $29.95? And you're like, oh, should I do that? You're always on the fence, like, oh, how long is this? 2 years. We now offer that through your checking account as well.
I've never gotten an extended warranty, but I get 10 phone calls a day to extend my extended warranty.
Car warranty.
Or home appliances, whatever.
Right.
It's funny.
So we just wanted to kind of bring those unique services that now give you a savings in everywhere else. You can cancel those services, and we've got you covered right with your checking account.
That's a fantastic incentive. I have to be honest with you.
Consolidating.
I'm just getting up in my head, AAA, my insurance on my cell phone, et cetera, and you start to add all that up. That's a substantial savings.
It sure is.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yep. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to just think outside of the box. It also comes with savings on prescription and eye benefits and accidental death insurance, lots of different things that we've just kind of now wanted to offer our customers and potential customers through their checking account options.
So is people interested in any of your services, they can go to your website, I'm assuming,
yep.
right?
You can come right to ulstersavings.com, and everything's listed out there. You can visit any one of our...
Like, is there application or explanations?
Yep. Our careers are out there. You can apply online. There's email addresses on where you send your applications and resumes. You can also visit any branch location. We have banking professionals that are eager and willing to help at any level, so stop in and say hi to us. You can call our customer service at any time, and we're there.
And we all know people that have been at your bank for 15, 20, 30 years,
yes.
and it's obviously
Yes.
As well as a lot of turnover too. I mean,
Well,
hey, weren't you at that other bank last week?
Yeah, right. It can be like that a little bit, right? And you never knew.
Either loyal to the core or flitting around.
And for me, I've been with Ulster Savings Bank for 3 years, and I know they're like, oh, Bill paid you to say this, but it really has been like the best experience that I've had in my career. I mean, I've started at Premier National Bank, M&T Bank. I've gone everywhere in the community, and this has been now my forever home. It's a great organization. The leadership is there.
Are you a local girl?
I am. I live here in Hurley. I am the chair-elect for the Ulster County Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I serve on a lot of local boards. Raise my children here. Like we're,
Good. Right on.
Invested in the community,
That's
right?
Invested in the
There you
community,
go.
Absolutely. And that's where I say I found a firm. I found a place that's also vested in
Yeah.
the community, and so it matches our personal, lives.
So I'm assuming employee benefits, if you're interested in a career at Ulster Savings Bank, you have a good benefit package, health insurance, vacation,
Yes,
personal
absolutely.
sick.
You get you get PTO time, which is just, a lumped bucket of everything that you need to use it for. There's, we're having our benefit fair this Friday for our employees to talk about the next year's and benefits, and they get to go and hear all of the different vendors and stuff. So it's we are committed to that. Absolutely, there's tons of benefits. I don't take them because they're my husband's union, so I can't speak very educated on that.
Yeah, but
He's
that's
got good
okay.
Hey, you're lucky.
Right.
It's one thing that is the biggest problem I think our country faces our healthcare system.
Yes.
It is a broken, terrible. Great healthcare and professionals and workers and people out there, but the way it's paid for is the worst in the world.
Yeah.
And that. Whatever.
No argument
That's my
here,
political.
that's
That's my political rant.
I'm a Terry for the morning.
Man, I'm not talking like communism or anything, but something's got to change, man.
Yeah, we talk about that every Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Eric Stanberg
Position.
has his
bad it
thumb on the pulse of that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dr. Eric Stanberg. I had a question in regard to if I were to be a teller, what are my prerequisites when it comes to education? Or if I were to want to want to get into loan processing and into the loan department, what are some of the prerequisites that are required for a potential employee?
For a teller role, we try to just, when we're doing our interview process, we really just look for someone who has, customer service background, and a willingness to learn, really. I always said, we say you can teach will, you can teach skill, you can't teach will.
Yes, very true.
I mean, so, we have great education programs that really help bring the knowledge people
Do you
need
need
for.
to be a high school graduate?
Well, yes, you do want to have a high school diploma.
And 18, or is there age?
Yep, 18 for a teller role in the bank, our entry level. And as long as, like I said, they have a desire to learn and a desire to want to help people, we can pretty much teach them the entry-level positions. I have people that come into my new teller class that, very minimal. I mean, some of them I say, this is a check, and they're like, what's a check? And I have to go over all of the orders of operation on a check. But as long as they're willing to learn, they pick it up really fast, and they just have to have that will and that desire to help.
Desire, exactly.
Right.
Yep, you got to show up every day. You show up every day, half your job is done. Sure, I mean, it sounds trivial, but a dedication, just literally showing up every day on time is half of anybody's job. It's
Very true.
It's,
So if anybody's interested in pursuing, they can, I'm assuming the application's online.
Yep, and
for
there's
applying
absolutely, and our email's there for them to submit it in right through our careers page on our website. So, definitely submit things. We have teller positions open throughout the Hudson Valley.
So, throughout that. So whether you're Kingston or Poughkeepsie, there's
Correct.
opportunities
Yep,
all
there's-
over.
Yep.
So
And we have float positions, and those go, everywhere. So lots of opportunity.
And your website one more time, Crystal?
Yep, ulstersavings.com.
Nice and easy.
there you go.
Yes,
Can't beat
yes,
that.
yeah.
So Crystal Jacobs, thank you so much. You've been a awesome guest. We appreciate your
you.
time.
Yeah, I learned
My
a lot
pleasure.
today.
Yeah, thank you for
Yes,
having me.
absolutely.
keep up the good work. So, and tell Bill that we don't need him. We'll take you back.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
So thank you, but Bill, thank you for filling in for him, and because this is new, this would have only been the second month in this time slot for him. So
Yes.
we did some of our
It's a little juggling around and schedules.
changing around some guest schedules. So
Well, I was honored he thought of me. He was
Yeah,
like,
no.
it'd be good to fill in. Get Crystal. I'm like,
yeah, good. Thank you.
great.
We're glad you joined us.
And are you located in the
yes, I
Schwank
work right here at the Schwank Drive office.
which is a beautiful facility, I have to say. Yeah, it really, really is. And, I think of it as new, but it's been there now for quite a few years.
Yeah, it was as long as I've been employed there. It was
right, the
Still
old
the
MetLife building.
And I like
yeah.
the charging station out back.
Yes,
That's
yes,
cool.
a lot of people
And
are
it's
taking
not hooked up
advantage
to a
of that.
diesel generator, which I think is awesome.
Oh, wow.
So
I
many
didn't know
charging
that.
stations are hooked up. Charging stations are next to a brown or green fence. Look behind the fence. There's a large diesel generator behind it.
Ah.
Funny.
Yeah,
But yours isn't. Yours is really on the grid, so thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks
so
so
Dan,
much.
why don't we go to break,
Yes,
and then we'll be back with our
history
historian, Taylor Bruck, will be with us. So
Thank you.
Thank you again, Crystal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nina Postapak and Cameron Rylance, and a very, very special thanks to Crystal Jacobs, a training and education at Ulster Savings Bank. You're with us here at KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. It's Tuesday, April 5th. I think I snuck in an April 4th once or twice throughout the show. I'm very sorry. It is April 5th. And it's about 35 degrees now here in Uptown Kingston, and we'll be right back after these messages. Oh, by the way, this morning's program has been brought to you by Robert Baum Commercial Realty, located at 79 St. James Street, Kingston, New York. Visit rgbaum.com for more information.
At Central Hudson, safety is our highest priority. That's why we ask you to keep a clear path to electric and gas meters and eliminate all obstructions, including snow, ice, vegetation overgrowth, storage boxes, garbage, or any other kind of debris. Access to meters is important for safety inspections too, and failing to provide access can result in fines. For more information, visit the safety section of centralhudson.com.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Diane Eastwick from Athens, New York, and I support Kingston Community Radio, and so should you.
It's 8:31 a.m. right now here and on a sunny Tuesday, April 5th, and 35 degrees right now here in Uptown Kingston. Sunshine and clouds mixed today with a high of 60 degrees, and cloudy with occasional rain later tonight with a low of 42 degrees. It's a 90% chance of rain for tonight. And Wednesday, steady rain early, then remaining cloudy with a few showers throughout the day, a high of 54, and it's about a 90% chance of rain for Wednesday during the day, too. And Wednesday night, it's a 50% chance of rain, cloudy in the evening, then off and on rain showers after midnight. A low of 44. And Thursday, periods of rain with a high of 51 degrees, chance of rain 100% on Thursday. Thursday night, steady rain in the evening, showers continuing late with a low of 44 degrees, 100% chance of rain then, too. And Friday and Saturday, look for rainy days for Friday and Saturday as well. This upcoming portion of Kingston Community Radio is brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank, always looking for you, working for you, and our community, with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park, also online at rondoutbank.com, equal housing lender, member FDIC. So let's get back to the on-air studio with Nina Postapak, Cameron Rylance, and our new guest.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's 8:30.
The home stretch.
Can
We're
you
here.
believe that?
And Taylor Brook, good morning. Ulster County
Historian. Oh, no, Ulster County Archivist, City Historian.
City of Kingston Historian. Good morning.
Yes.
Welcome.
Good morning.
How
Thanks
are
for
you, man?
having me. Doing good.
So we were just chatting off air. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. The 150th, the recent Sojourner Truth display, and
Yeah, there's never a
sorts of stuff.
shortage of Ulster County
books
history.
coming out, and all sorts of baseball league, the wooden bat baseball league coming out.
Oh yeah.
Let's start with baseball. Since
Yeah,
it's
I know,
opening
baseball.
day for
Yeah.
the right.
Spring's
Baseball
coming
season.
up.
Yeah.
So we're putting the finishing touches on our vintage baseball team, the Kingston Guards. So our first game is going to be on May 14th at 11 a.m. at Hutton Park, and we'll be playing by 1860 rules, which are
So tell us about those. What kind of?
Okay, hold on.
rules?
Hutton
Yeah.
Park. What time?
11 a.m. There's actually going to be 3 games that day, too. It's like a tournament. So there's going to be some teams from Bovina and Fleischmann's and a couple other places that are all coming to Kingston for the day to play some baseball.
So is Bovina correct?
Or Bovina.
Okay,
I don't know.
That's like the Cairo, accord,
Yeah.
accord.
I'm going to go with Bovina.
Okay, yeah, I don't, like Milan across the river. It's Milan.
Milan.
It's not Milan. It's Milan. You know.
Yeah, and I'm
Cairo.
trying.
Cairo. Yeah.
I'm
Cairo.
ashamed of this because I'm meeting with the Bovina historian tomorrow, Ray Lefevre, and I'm pretty sure he says Bovina, so I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, well, actually, ask him. It's important to know. Like Morris Wirtz. It's not Maurice Wirtz. It's Morris Wirtz.
Right.
you
Yeah,
know?
right,
And,
yeah.
and I asked because I was like, is it? Because I heard D&H, Bill Merchant call him Morris, and I was like, I thought it was Maurice. He's like, aha, it is, but it's pronounced Morris.
Morris.
And I'm like, I'm in the know. So yeah.
Well,
So, are the Guardians joining an existing league? Is that what this is? Or
yes, there's a league called the Vintage Baseball Association, the VBBA. So we'll be playing some teams from Sullivan County, Greene County, and there's also some teams down in Brooklyn, Long Island that we're looking to schedule some games with. So yeah, we're rounding out the number of teams. I think there was 5, and we'll be number 6. So
That's
now we
cool.
can do tournaments.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
So I wanted to hear your answer to Nina's question.
the
What are
rules.
some of the little differences? And you're doing this because you are like to play baseball, right? You're
Oh yeah.
baseball. This isn't because you're historians, because you learn to play baseball.
I haven't played organized baseball since Little League, but yeah, I love playing baseball.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love baseball.
So what would the casual observer notice to be the big difference between 1836 rules or whatever? And
the gloves are very different. The bat is very different. The balls are very different. It's more in equipment than rules itself.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the rules are pretty similar. There are some strange rules about if you hit a certain number of foul balls, it's an out. Pinch runners.
I wish that was still in.
Both teams need to agree to have pinch runners. You can't just decide to do it. There's little quirky things like that. The pitching in general is a little bit different. You're not trying to strike guys out. You're trying to have them make contact and put the ball in play.
To make it out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
What about distances? Baseline, pitches,
basically
mound?
identical.
Pretty the same.
Oh, it is.
Pretty
Was
much
that,
the
was
same.
that do you know? Was that the same throughout baseball, or is that just a modern make things easier so they can play on a field?
As far as I know, it was pretty much the same.
Dimensions were the same.
Yeah, they changed a little bit here and there, but
I
nothing
know fields.
dramatic.
I know outfield fences were like not
Non-existent.
original. Yeah.
That's why we're playing at Hutton Park. Originally, we
Right,
were
'cause-
going to play at one of the baseball fields, but all the other teams were like, they didn't have fences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to earn your home run.
Put your jackrabbit out in center field. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So that's cool. But the balls are what they call lemon peel balls. They're like squishier. So they don't go as far. Like, we're not going to be hitting them 350 feet.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I've never
Yeah.
played it. I don't know what the difference
You have
is.
umpires.
We have an umpire. There's only one umpire
Okay.
on the field at any time.
Are they behind the plate?
No.
Okay, they're in the field.
They're in the field, and they call balls and strikes from there.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, which I always thought you might be able to get a better view from there. Like when I'm watching on TV, I can see
Yeah,
it
yeah,
better
and they're
than
on
the
it.
guy behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we're currently doing research to see if the umpires still wore top hats because there was a period where they did. So we're trying to figure out what our
So we
umpire
better,
is supposed to look
so we
like.
better call Bluebirds uptown and get a top hat quick.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So what time frame are we? Is the baseball modeled around? What years?
We'll be playing by 1860 rules.
1860.
And they did change a lot between like 1860 and 1880, say. Even like the color of the ball totally changed. It used to be a brown ball, and then like 10 years later it was a white ball. So like weird things like that changed. But the gloves are like fingerless gloves. They're basically just like mittens. They look like mittens. Yeah, kind of, but fingerless.
So the name, I remember catcher's mitt for spaces.
Yeah.
They were just sort of slightly different shapes of mitts, as I recall from seeing some documentary or something.
And this was a time, the 1860s, a lot of players didn't use gloves. Like in the 1850s, really early on, nobody used gloves, and there was no rule against it. So people started slowly saying, you know, my hand really hurts after these games. I'm going to put something on it. And by 1860, it was about 50-50. Half the players wore gloves, half didn't.
Wow.
Now, you guys have to make your gear?
Right.
Or someone have to turn the bats? Or there's a company out there?
Someone does, but not us. There are companies, a lot of them in Cooperstown.
So you guys are like sharing a couple gloves? Or
we're getting our own gloves. Whoever wants a glove can buy a glove. The woman making our uniforms is the woman who made the uniforms for A League of Their Own.
Oh, really?
There's not many people out here that do this.
Right. So it's very specialized.
Wool uniforms? Or?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, or cotton burlap or something.
So,
thick,
I don't actually know.
school.
We'll see. She's making them
Now,
right now.
are you at liberty to say who any of the guys who's on the team? Do you not want? Are you?
There's 15 guys on the team, or that at least have expressed interest and paid their dues.
I know Tommy Keegan had always expressed an interest in this thing, and Joe Bees, I think, over the years.
Yeah, so
about a wooden bat league.
Joe Bees played one vintage baseball game.
Okay.
And we met with Nick Warren, who was on that team.
Yep.
So Nick is on our team. Dan Torres is like co-manager.
From the county, Dan Torres?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a big baseball histrry buff.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so it was actually his idea. He came to me and said, hey, it would be really cool if we did this. And I was like, let's go, man. I'm all in. Like, I love this idea. And then, we just got a bunch of... Gage DeWitt, a researcher that we met from Louisiana, actually just moved up here.
Oh, we did?
Well... Mostly, he has an appliance repair company, and he was like, I don't make any money in Louisiana doing it. I'm going to come up here and go to Westchester County, and he's doing great now.
Oh, wow.
So he's looking to...
Now you can play vintage baseball,
So
too.
he's on the team. He's looking to buy property up here. So we already got some people that are, like, moving here.
And they're going to play baseball.
They're ready to go.
And so, do you guys pay for everything yourselves? I mean, or do you do fundraisers? How are you sustaining the league?
We will do fundraisers. Right now, the Kingston Rotary Club has been generous in that they gave us a sub-account in their account. So any donations we do get are tax-deductible, 501c3. So we're currently looking for 2 sponsors. We've reached out to a couple of places to be kind of big major sponsors. But after we get the setup costs out of the way, there's not much maintenance cost. We just need to buy the jerseys and the equipment.
If somebody wants to sponsor, Taylor, how would they get in touch with you, or how would they do that? If there's a business out there that would like to be part of the league.
Oh, sure. They can email KingstonGuardsBaseball@gmail.com. And just let us know if you're interested. We're currently designing the flyers, so in the next week or two, we're looking to get our sponsors, put their logos on there. Their logos will be on all the flyers, all the merchandising, everything going forward here.
That's really cool.
Yeah, very exciting, right? And May 14th at 11 o'clock, if you want to see the first game.
Picnic-style seating. Bring your own chairs. There's no bleachers in 18.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I sense this is the beginning of something quite big.
Yeah, I hope so.
It just has that panache to it that could be really a big blow up with vintage baseball.
Now, these other teams have been around for a while, or
they have
a couple of years, and
at least the VBBA, the Vintage Baseball Association, has been around for something like 20 years.
Huh.
Yeah, so
they got to be psyched that there's a little expansion going on.
Oh, definitely.
Think,
Yeah, and we're in a good location too. Kingston, right off the thruway, kind of right in the middle of.
Some of those other teams
City
you
and
said,
Albany.
Yeah.
So we're easy to get to. It was an easy sell to join the organization.
And Kingston is got quite a bit of a baseball history.
Yeah, and
Quite
a lot
a
of these
bit.
guys from the VBBA, when you say, oh, we're a team from Kingston, they're like, wow, Kingston is getting a team? Awesome. Because if you're doing research into baseball in the 1860s, Kingston was kind of a major player.
Yeah, Nancy had talked about that some time ago. There was like a whole circuit. There was a lot of baseball going on here.
Oh, yeah. Something like in the very first All-Star game.
It's like professional teams and...
Yeah, like 30% of the players were played in Kingston teams. Like, we were a hub of baseball in that era, so it'd be really nice to represent that. And also, we can talk about that era in general, like the Reconstruction era after the Civil War, that era from the 1860s to 1880s.
In our local history.
Definitely. And most people just think,
Between
Rev
coal,
War history, Dutch history, and then IBM. And there's like a huge gap that really doesn't get talked
Well, the
about.
industrialization, the creek, and the steam era, steamboat era on the river, and
yeah, we're super excited. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's great. And that's only one of the many projects that you're working on.
That's not even work.
Right?
That's a fun. That's
That's
a fun one. That's
one,
not even
yes.
your job. That's cool. So I know the 150th is coming up. There's some events planned for that.
Oh yeah, so the night before our first baseball game is May 13th, and we're having a celebration for. It's a Friday. Friday at 5:30 at City Hall. We'll be celebrating the 150th anniversary of the city of Kingston. So that's the merger between Rondout and the village of Kingston. And we'll have some original documents on display, and the final lunette is going to be announced in City Hall. That Ed Ford was adamant about getting all the lunettes repaired. They're all repaired except one.
And this one is,
This
yes.
is it.
So those of you that are listening and don't know what a lunette is and what we're referring to, in the chambers at City Hall, up along the ceiling of the chambers is, how many lunettes are there, Taylor, do you remember?
Jeez.
I want to say 26, but I could be wrong.
20 something. I only
Yeah.
know there was 3 that were really badly
Yes.
damaged and had to be repaired.
And all of them depict different moments in the history of the city of Kingston. And when the City Hall, they took all those down and put them in storage. Like Taylor said, 3 of them were destroyed. And those, Ed Ford was really adamant about having those 3 replaced. We dedicated one to him, which was the one with the treaty and the wampum belt that went up, which was wonderful when he was still here with us. And that was quite an event. And then what Taylor's talking about now is the last one, I believe, right? That needs to be done?
Yeah, and it was the most difficult one because there was no mold or anything.
Is it the same subject matter as the original, or is it a new,
It is.
new imagery?
It's the
Okay.
it's the same subject matter, but all they had was a photograph of it. So what they did was have an artist kind of sketch it and carve it, and then Bosse's actually, Paul O'Neill was working with Bosse's and convinced them to have their 3D printing class 3D print a mold for this.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool,
so
right?
Bosse's is going to mold it, cast it.
For a plaster mold.
They're working on it right now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yep. And the state historian is coming down, Devin Lander. We'll have some elected officials from Kingston talking about their time here and kind of why it was good to merge. Because at the time, a lot of history is taken for granted in that we assume it was going to happen all along. But the merger was certainly not like that. Rondout and Kingston were very different. They were like, I don't know about this. And it turned out great. In my opinion, I mean, pretty much all our
50 years later,
50 years later, all of our major municipal infrastructure is because of the merger.
I still think it should be called Rondout. Sorry.
Spoken from a downtown guy, right? Yeah.
There's a good argument for it. They had like twice the
Yeah,
population.
and all the industry. You know?
Yeah, they were way richer, but it was the history that got it named Kingston. They said this
Well,
has been called Kingston.
They didn't know that we'd have the throughway exit uptown.
Right.
They had the river back then. That was a throughway, you know?
Right.
But, yeah.
And tell them, Taylor, one exciting event or exciting things that took place because of the 150th is they discovered a hidden room in City Hall where the time capsule is going to be put. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Hidden room or a
room? No room.
It's actually like a hidden floor.
Yes.
So we had heard rumors that there was a door in City Hall that led to a staircase that went down. and none of the blueprints in City Hall show a basement. So we were like, well, where does it go? And the thought was, there used to be a holding cell in City Hall for prisoners, so we thought, well, maybe there was a door outside that went down to a little holding cell in the basement thing. So there's a door in the main floor of City Hall that has been welded shut for years. And we said, let's open that door. Let's see what's behind it. So we went over to City Hall. Buildings and Grounds was there. They took the torches out. They cracked it open, opened it, and it was just a brick wall. Nothing there. And we were like, well, okay, why was this door here to begin with? And then someone said, I heard there was a hatch in the planning department. So the mayor walked back in planning and started stomping around. And sure enough, well, he found this hollow spot. And we were like, oh my God, what is under there? So a week later, we went back and they cut the carpet out. And sure enough, there was a hatch in the floor, opened it up, led to a staircase that goes down into this basement that was nuts. And people hadn't been down
basement?
there. It's very strange. So we think so, but there's probably another entrance. So the hatch leads to this little, it's not little, it's probably, I don't know, the size of a living room, say, and then there's a vault built into it that has this wooden chest inside the vault, but there was modern lights in there, but no light switch. And this didn't go under all of City Hall.
What, 50s, 40s?
No,
70s?
70s, 80s. Yeah, wow. And there was old Dorito bags and stuff. But there was no other way in except for this hatch.
Wow.
Now, what room was that? Now, what office was that?
This is below the planning office.
Okay, well, maybe they knew they could just hang out down there or something.
At some
that
point,
bricked up staircase, that could be a staircase to another part of the basement or something.
Yeah, and there were walls that seemed like there was definitely something on the other side, but no door to get through.
Yeah.
So it seemed like there was just another entrance somewhere.
Huh.
But yeah, that's a huge weird mystery. But we're going to use the vault that we found to put a time capsule that Kingston City School District is currently working on. So a lot of their students, we gave the teachers discretion, do whatever you want, basically, because we have a lot of room now.
Yeah.
So they're going to do art projects,
cool.
English
That's
projects.
wild.
Yeah, kids will write about their experience through the pandemic as a student, what that's been like. And it'll be set to open again in another 150 years.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
There could be a novel written about
Makes
that.
you wonder. You know?
You could almost write a novel around all that.
Dan Brown. Yeah, a Dan Brown mystery.
And Taylor put together an exhibit that's in the second floor of our county office building on the 150th. And maybe you could talk a little bit about the components of that exhibit, because it's if people have the opportunity to come up to the second floor of the county office building to our archival gallery, it's a wonderful exhibit, and it would be great to see before you go and celebrate on May 13th.
May 13th, yeah, and it's actually online now too. So we did an exhibit all about the separate villages and then the merger and what came out of it. So there's two walls. One wall is a timeline, but it's a skewed timeline. It's slanted. And in the very early timeline, so the Dutch era, pretty much all the major things are happening uptown. The Dutch come here, the stockade happens, the first church, first bank, all that big stuff is happening uptown. And then as you go along the timeline, more and more starts happening downtown. So when you get into the 1800s, then the D&H Canal finishes, and then you have this explosion of immigration downtown, and then downtown really starts to thrive. So we tried to visually represent that really early in Kingston's history, uptown was dominant, and then later, the 1800s, it was really dominant downtown. And then it kind of came to a head in 1872 when they were discussing the merger. And the second wall is what came out of the merger. And we did that by using a map that has postcards of things that were only able to happen really after the merger. So fire departments, police departments, water departments, things like that they couldn't do as separate villages because they didn't have the infrastructure funding and whatnot. And I forget how many postcards we used, something like 80, 90. We couldn't fit them all on the wall. So what we did was we made a Google map that has all of the postcards as little locations on the map. So if you go on to the Ulster County Clerk website and go to exhibits and check the exhibit out, you can get that map, and it's cool. You can actually get it on your phone and walk around. And
that is
cool.
It'll show you the postcard when you like get near the location. But
So Kingston and Rondout, 150 years ago, merged. What about all those that you've heard about, like Wilbur and Higginsville and Pencockie? Were they ever their own little hamlets, and were they ever formally merged, or were they just like neighborhoods?
It's weird. Pencockie was not. Pencockie was considered part of Rondout.
Okay.
Wilbur was its own neighborhood, and it's really unfair to say it was a merger between Rondout and the village of Kingston. It was a merger between Rondout, the village of Kingston, and Wilbur.
And Wilbur, okay.
Yeah, Wilbur was
like,
counted.
was Higginsville a real thing, or was that just an area?
Higginsville, Mutton Hollow is a hilarious thing. We actually found records where they're talking about this in court, and they say, well, shouldn't we include Mutton Hollow in this? And the Kingston and Rondout people kind of both agreed, well, it floods all the time. It's kind of poor, and they haven't expressed interest in merging with us.
Those Mutton Hill, those people,
Mutton Hollow
those people, those holler people.
Yeah, and we did hear too that was in 1872 that was a predominantly black neighborhood. So we think that there's probably something to be said about
element.
that.
Wow.
Definitely, they were like, well, we don't really need them. Maybe if they ask, we'll say yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was actually in researching Mutton Hollow that we found out about the Seal College that we had no idea existed at the time.
Which is an amazing
story,
thing, man.
yes.
We got a couple minutes left. Why don't you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so we were researching Mutton Hollow and came upon this picture of a SEAL college, which at first we in the office thought was like a Navy SEAL training center. We were like, what is a SEAL college? And we looked into it, and it is a college where they train SEALs. And they trained some of the most famous like SEAL performers in the world. And thankfully, to me at least, there is a book coming out all about this. They're having an event at Rough Draft next Monday, I think between 5:30 and 7, with the author, who's the great-grandson of the gentleman that ran the SEAL College. But yeah, Kingston had one of the premier SEAL colleges.
Taylor, where is Mutton Hollow?
Mutton Hollow, my understanding of Mutton Hollow would be sort of where Dutch Village is. Like near Deet Stadium, that area of Kingston. And that's why it flooded. It was like right by the creek. And it used to flood all the time. And
So it's not an extant village now, is it?
Yeah, and then Higginsville is on the other side of the creek.
Higginsville is on the other
where,
side.
Where Olympic Diner is and all that in there.
Gotcha.
And
Well,
which
that's
with the
interesting.
SEAL
Okay.
College was where a Beale Auto is.
Right, yeah.
Roughly. Near the Best, across from the Best Western.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and apparently there are now houses on Green Street that have SEALs buried in the backyards because some of the trainers live there or something. Yeah.
So that's next Monday? What's that?
Yeah, it's next Monday. I believe it either starts at 5:30 or 6, so 6 o'clock to be safe. The author will be at Rough Draft, and I believe the book is released. So I'm going to go grab a copy myself and meet him because I'm very excited about this story.
You mean underneath my house,
Yeah.
my old house on Green Street, 92 Green, could be buried seals.
There
Yes,
could be.
it could be a SEAL cemetery.
The article is in the paper. Show the Three Stooges and a bunch of,
Yeah, you met the SEAL Sharky met FDR. And when he died, his funeral was at like the Waldorf Astoria in the city. Oh. Yeah, this is like a big deal. Like this SEAL was famous, world famous. And there are, I guess there are still some footage of the SEAL. We found an article in the New Yorker all about the SEAL. Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing with it, but
50s, right? 40s and
I believe so. Yeah. Well,
it's in the if it was in Stooges movies, that was in the 40s. And
yeah.
50s, so yeah.
I remember shows of Ed Sullivan with incredible SEAL performances.
Yeah,
that's
on Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that SEAL might have been a Kingstonian.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's exciting. Unbelievable. Well, Taylor, you almost got to the top
about
of
a
that.
minute left.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So those dates. So baseball is when? When's that game again?
May 14th.
May 14th.
Yeah. So May 13th and 14th are that's the big weekend coming up.
Big historical days.
Yeah.
And at City Hall on the 13th, it's after work. It's
Yep.
5
Right
o'clock?
after work,
Yeah.
5:30.
And it's open house. Open to the public.
Open house. The program will start probably about 5:40, 5:45.
Up in the chambers?
Up in the chambers, and it'll only be about an hour. We don't want to hold people all night.
Yeah.
And there'll be exciting news there. That'll be announced, a commission that's going to be started that Taylor will have to come back and talk about next month. Which we're really excited about. But we'll keep that for the next show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a
Very
good.
That's a cliffhanger.
There you
That is a cliffhanger right there.
Good big commission.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So, Taylor, thank you so much for filling in. I hope Nancy's okay. I hope it was just she just couldn't make it. So, thank you much. Keep up the good work. Everybody have a terrific Tuesday.
Yes, have a good Tuesday. Enjoy. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Yeah, and we'll be back in 1 week. So, Dan, why don't you take it away, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Take care.
Thank you, Nina, and thank you, Cameron. And a very, very special thanks to Taylor Bruck, Ulster County historian, and Crystal Jacobs from Ulster Savings, and Tom Polk and Heidi Kirshner from the YMCA. Thank you so much for being our guests today. You've been listening to KCR, Kingston Community Radio, AM 920 and 92.5 FM, and streaming online at mykcr.org. And this last portion of Kingston Community Radio was brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank. Rondout Savings Bank, always working for you and the community, with branches in Kingston, West Hurley, and Hyde Park, and also online at rondoutbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Thank you for sharing the morning with us and participating in Kingston Community Radio, KCR. And talk radio is at its best at KCR. Inspired discussions of, by, and for the community, as you already know. We invite you to be with us tomorrow for a Super Wednesday, and that is 7 to 9 a.m. every weekday. And until tomorrow, we wish you every success in growing and developing Kingston and all our neighboring communities. We now return you back to Magic 92.5. Thank you.
And Magic Memories, 920 WGHQ AM Kingston and 92.5 W2.